Happy Sunday, witches. We don't need church today because we've got Philosophy Sunday. And today we will be learning about the power of words from Agrippa's Natural Magic. Look how stunning this book is. Look at it. It's beautiful. Now, Agrippa's three books of occult philosophy were published in 1533, and he was an occult writer who was heavily influenced by Hermeticism, Neoplatonism, Kabbalah. There's a lot of celestial magic in his books, but there's also the natural magic. You guys know I'm a word witch. I like rhyming, I like incantation, and while I don't align with all of Agrippa's writings, I do like what he says about the power of words and incantation. In his book, Natural Magic, he talks about, things like the stars and the earth and plants. But then at the end, there's the section about words, sentences, the naming of things. And if we're talking about the physical world and the celestial world, why are words here? Ripa talks about speech in the Natural Magic book because speech is natural magic. Words aren't simply symbols of things, they are energetic links and connections to things. In his writings, he also talks about words having a virtue. When he says virtue, what he's saying is that the word or the thing has an invisible force, potency, and it has an inherent magic attached to it. Now, in his chapter, Speech and the Virtue of Words, he says, just as there is great power in the soul, so there is in words and the names of things, and especially in the speech and gesture by which we are distinguished from the beasts. Galen says we are termed rational not because of the faculty of reason, which the beasts also possess, albeit to a lesser degree, but owing to our ability to articulate words in speech, whereby we greatly transcend them. In Greek, logos signifies reason, speech, and words. And word has two facets, the inward and the spoken. The inward facet is the concept held in the mind and the passionate movement of the soul. We speak in dreams, and awake we silently articulate speech. The spoken word is articulated by the organs of speech and the breath, whereby the incorporated word is given corporeal form. The one who interprets the utterance forms those concepts in their own mind and are sometimes powerfully moved. Each may not only convey the concept, but also the virtue of the speaker, causing change in the mind and body of the hearer or even in the inanimate. This is why speaking to the herbs is important. The names of the celestial, intellectual, and supernatural things convey great power, just as words spoken by the worthy are imbued with their virtue. Thus, words are the vehicle for celestial virtues and the virtues of the speaker. So, words are the vehicles of the power and the essence. On the power of sentences, he says, if words and names possess virtues, so do sentences, which combine and harmonize their virtues. Words may be put together to convey meaning and intent through verse enchantment, imprecation, deprecation, oration, invocation, conjuration, and all matter of other operations. When composing an oration or verse to draw the virtue of a star or god, you must first possess a lucid conception of the virtues you want to invoke and how you will express them. Before you call in the power of the stars or the gods, plan out what you're going to say first. Then he goes on to say, such well spoken verses with the force of imagination convey great virtue upon and through the enchanter, who works through the composition of word, speech, movement, and harmony. These verses draw upon the natural and celestial virtues inherent in their design and the time, place, and manner of their performances. Enchanters carefully control their breath so that the words of the verse are infused with the virtue as they are recited. Verses are composed according to a harmonious number, proportion, and form, but they may also, for example, be recited or written backwards to attain most unusual effects. And then finally, he says, the power of enchantment is said to be so great it can subvert nature almost in its entirety. Apuleius says, by soft magical speech, fast rivers turn back to their source. The sea is stilled, the winds directed, the sun stopped in the sky, the moon drawn down, the stars plucked, the day postponed, and the night drawn out. Speech opens the mind, drawing forth its innermost thoughts, and so revealing the speaker's will. Writing is the final expression of the mind and comprises an art that is not perfected in speech. What can be spoken can also be written, and what can be conceived can be conveyed by speech and the written word. What he's saying is that words have power. Words have energetic links to things. Words have power to influence others. Speech can carry your spirit, your breath, your essence. How they are arranged, how they are spoken, affects outcomes. The concept of like affects like also relates to speech when it comes to magic. With speech and words having virtue, that virtue is the essence, the magic that we have within ourselves. So without any tools at all, your words are magic. Hope that helps.